like I was talking to Bobby, just cut the chocolate. You're biting enough. So then what happens? The mind, what it has created is gone. That image is gone.
Right.
So it becomes more easy now. Otherwise, mind will come up with its answer to this
Correct. Correct.
because it has
There'll be
registered.
a fight internally for that. Yeah.
No, there's no internal fight. What happens here is that the mind sense door has mind consciousness. Like the tongue consciousness, the tongue sense door has a tongue consciousness. So the tongue has registered, but mind also has registered simultaneously.
Right. Okay.
So even if the taste is not coming in the mouth, the mind will make sure it feels like that. It's a mind feeling.
Correct.
See, there's a lesser coffee taste. So the moment I put the coffee in the mouth, the mind sense door will compare between that coffee, the when we had registered to now. And that registration process happens when there is a contact, phassa,
Correct.
and then the vedana, the feeling. So it's a good coffee or a bad coffee is coming into existence because of that.
Correct. Right.
Okay. Now, if you were to ask where it is getting registered, it is registered in the mind.
Okay.
But does that mean the tongue is not registering? It is registering. But what it registers, like in the Kajiniya Sutta, Buddha says it will register as sweet, sour, salt, like that. It
Yeah.
doesn't register as coffee.
Correct.
But this registration of coffee is happening in the mind. So it will bypass the sugar, sweet, sugar and sour and all of that. It will search for coffee. In the same way, the touch sense door. The touch is just a basic touch, but the mind sense door makes up for the gap. So I'm touching a female.
Right.
Yes. Yes, it does. No, like if you are pouring hot water, it has a sense of perception and feeling, right? At that time, the mind is not there.
Okay. So when I'm touching a female, the feeling and perception happen simultaneously on the touch sense door and the mind sense door. The mind sense door is more into conceptualizing, naming and description, but the touch is more basic, let's say.
Yes.
So how do you?
Yes.
Sorry.
You go ahead.
How to distinguish between the craving that is there in the senses and the one that is there in the mind?
It depends on the feeling. You will see. Let's take an example. Now I'm feeling hot. There's hot feeling. So I'm sweating. So there is a craving in the body, consciousness to have it cold. It doesn't matter what cold it is. It's air conditioner cold or it is fan cold or some cold. There is a discomfort. However, mind will say that why not AC?
Okay.
So that's the difference between this and that. Yes, Saryu.
Yeah, I feel like the basic thing, like lust, like the initial, like the lustful feeling, the body feels it in a very strong way as well, right? The feeling.
No, all feelings are there in all the senses. Otherwise, Buddha wouldn't have used Chakku Sampajjasa Vedana, Sota Sampajjasa Vedana. He would have made everything as Mano Sampajjasa Vedana and left it. So the objective is to distinguish clearly between this is coming from the mind and this is coming from that particular sense. So first level of discernment or first level of practice is to find out these two. The mind will make up for the gap. Yes.
I'm just saying the sexual energy is felt very strongly in the body, usually.
As well as in the mind.
Okay.
As well as in the mind. But
Yeah,
in the case of
yeah,
body,
okay.
in the case of the body, it doesn't matter what conditions you are going to bring up to have sex. You feel something uncomfortable, that's all. But mind will make up for the rest. So I need a good female, I need like this, I need like that, and some dressing up and all makeup thing, which is what called sankhara, is coming from the mind.
So the basic distinguishment is that so if there is a discomfort, the senses just want a relief from that, and that is the sense craving. But whatever stories apart from that is all from the mind. Can I
That's
say like that?
exactly what that Madhupindika Sutta is all about, right?
Yeah. Yam vedeti tam sanjanati vitaketi and papanseti and all that.
That is happening from the mind.
Got it.
Because from then onwards, mind takes over.
Thank you.
So like if I could explain to you what I did in the Vipassana class, is that you close the eye sense door. So there's no feeling of and perception of the sight. Clear. I cut off Goenka. So there's no feeling and perception of VRI through the ear. There is nothing to smell. There's nothing to touch. There's nothing to taste. But still mind is there. It waits for an input. So the mind sense door, mano dhatu, will close. Because there's no input. Just like you going to deep sleep.
Correct.
Then the mano vijnana dhatu, which is supposed to know what to do, is also closed because there is no input from anything now. So you're in deep sleep while you're awake. That's Nibbana. Same thing. There's no difference. So now I'm sitting here. This is a room. Okay. There is a room here. And what I do is, there's a perception of the room, there's a feeling of the room. So what I do first, I sit like this. Watch the breath. Then the breath goes away. So the Kaya Sankharo is gone. To make the Kaya Sankhara goes away, then I should have Vitakka Vichara first to go away. That means there should be no thinking and pondering. So I'm not thinking anything, I'm not pondering over anything. Now what is left out is only feeling and perception. If I am cutting off the perception of this room, make it shunya, empty of this room, will the room ever exist? No. Will there be a feeling of the room then? No. So when you are done Sanya Vedet Nirodha, it's as simple as that. So Nibbana is unconditioned. What do you mean by unconditioned? This room is a condition. This body is a condition. You remove the condition. Body is made up. So what he says, what is made up of? Made up of food. What else? So this body is not mine because it's made up. Anything that is made up is not mine.
Okay.
So the craving and feeling and all of that is in the makeup of it. Just like a movie actor and an actress, they are made up for the movie. That's just some name, some role, something they are doing, and that's what this body is also doing. So if I take this body as mine, that means I don't understand the reality. It's because it's made up. Made up as in Sankata condition, created. Right? Nibbana is unconditioned. That means there should not be any feeling, there should not be any perception. That's it. Now you see, 4 of us are in video. Supriya is not on video. Now let's take good examples. Now we need to guess Supriya. Right? That guesswork is coming from where?
From the mind.
Exactly. So it's a mind made. Can you see Supriya? No, you can see some S there and Supriya is there as a name, which adds nothing to the eyes. Can you hear from anything from Supriya? No, there is mute. That's gone. So sight is gone, sound is gone. Can you taste Supriya? No, she is on the video, or even she's on video, you can't taste her. So gone. Can you touch Supriya? It's also gone. Can you smell Supriya? Also gone. 5 senses are gone. But you can replace all these 5 senses by mind. How? Last time when we saw Supriya, that image will come. So there is a sight. We know her voice. So the voice will come even though she is not talking anything. Okay, sight, sound. Anyway, we are not here to taste anyone. So that is, leave it. What about touching? We can't touch. Okay. 2 of the senses will wait for a right opportunity. Okay. Not that I don't want to touch. I want to touch, but will wait for a right opportunity. So when the right opportunity comes, the touch will happen. So touch, taste, smell. So when she comes and she's sitting in front, then there is smell. Wait for a second. So now, if I don't want feeling and perception, the feeling is happening in each one of the senses also. But all that is compensated in the mind. Supposing I were to do Animitta of Supriya, right here, right now, then gone. And that's the reason Buddha says Animitta Appanihita Shunyata. Because when you do Animitta, signless, it becomes desireless. There's no desire. And it becomes Shunya, empty. Empty of what? Empty of Raga, Dvesha, Moha. So there's nothing to like about Supriya, there's nothing to hate about Supriya, because there is no Supriya in the first place. Yes, sir.
Yeah, I was thinking, because since we're talking Dhamma, of course, we're not thinking about touching and all that. But if it's, let's say, a normal, sexual person, a worldly person, when he sees someone, the mind will also fill in the blanks with smells and touch and all that. It's all going to be.
If the person has met, so what it does is that it will register at both sides. All the touch, smell, taste, everything is registered. So when it doesn't get that object, it will create that object on its own.
Yeah, I'm saying when we have never met, but the mind will imagine, and it would have felt in its own way, like how it would touch, how it would smell.
No, that is one. Something is sufficient. A little bit is sufficient to create. That magic can be created. That's the reason Buddha says it is a magician. Consciousness is a magician, because even with a little thing it can create.
Because one obvious thing is when you see a woman, right? When you see a woman, before hearing her voice, you would have expectation of how the voice would be. Sometimes when you see her for a long time, you create an imagination of the sweet sound. But when she spoke, she has a harsh, let's say, a not so nice voice. And immediately, the mind feel very disappointed. Right? That means that anticipation was not met. That means it's already created, even though it hasn't been heard.
Male and a female already has a perception and a feeling. Simple. It's about letting go of the perception and feeling, which is what the Kama Tanaha is all about. There's always male and female attraction. Whether you like it, dislike it, whatever way it is, there is already embedded. It's carried. So you already know that's a female. You are not seeing it like an indriya. You are seeing it like a person as a female. A you or I or anyone, right? So then there's always an attraction or a repulsion. That's already there. You are building on top of that. That's all. So the basic image is already there. Yes, Bobby.
So see, when you are discussing this one, I think you are mentioning about Madhu Pandika Sutta, that honey bowl. So I was just going through, looking through that, and what Shreyas was saying about some Pali sentence in that, which is that he was talking about, because I think the topic what you are discussing now, the sutta is very relevant, it seems.
No, it is there. No, yam vedeti tam sanjanati tam vitaki. It is there in the same one, Madhu Pandika Sutta.
Yeah, I know. I was reading the English. So what is the meaning of that? Yeah.
No, you have to open the Pali. English you forget.
Pali is also there, but
you have to go down. Then another bhikkhu will say that, okay, I will explain to you, and then
Mahakachana.
Mahakachana.
Okay. Yeah, all these things. When the eye and sights, so he's how he explained that, when the eye conscious arises depends on the eye and sights. The meeting of three is contact. Is that what you're saying? The contact is the condition of feelings. Chakku padiccharupecha pachadi. Chakku vijnanam tinnam sangati paso. Passa pachaya vedana yam vedeti tam sanjanat. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. Sanjanati means you know, that is a perception.
Yeah. Yam sanjadani tam vidakketi.
That is thinking.
Yeah. Yam vidakketi tam papancheti.
Papancheti.
Yeah, the proliferation. Yam papancheti tato nidanam.
Tato tam nidanam purisa. Papancha sanya sankha samudacharanti atita anagata pachuppannesu chakku vinyanesu rupesu.
Yeah, this is beautiful, is it? That's how all the entire proliferation happens. So that what you are saying, if you completely remove that perception, everything is gone. It is shunyata.
Yes.
I experience that.
Yeah. So here the Passa Pacha Vedana and the Vedana Sanjanati, these both from the sense door and as well as the mind.
Yes, so Supriya, can you come on video?
Okay, sir.
We require one female. Then you will see how Sanjanati happens. There she comes. आप आराम से बैठ जाओ, हम लोग खेलेंगे. Okay. See now, when you see her, when you see yourself, can you not make out a difference? Can you or can't you? The difference between the body. You can. That's the perception. Sanjanati. So now I have known that she is a female. So Chakuncha paticcha rupecha upajati chakku vinyanam. So now the chakku vinyana has happened. Just the vinyana has happened. There's just a conscious experience that somebody is sitting, something is sitting in front. Something, not somebody, something. Tinna Sangati Passo. These three became a contact. So now when I am seeing so-called Supriya, I am seeing it like an object sitting in front. Clear? Passa Pache Vedana. Now I get a feeling that this is a female. So you understand what I'm trying to say? Yam Vedeti Tam Sanjanati. Now whatever you feel, you perceive. So what you feel, you felt this is a female. Wait, Aryu, you don't keep on doing like that. Let me finish. Otherwise, I have to start all over again, right? So now we are doing with Supriya. So just listen. So now Supriya is a perception. Also, there is a feeling of Supriya. So now when there is a perception and feeling of Supriya, it will go in circle. Now you'll start liking the way she looks, or you start hating the way she looks. Either of the one will happen. Let's say she is wearing that red dress. Not many people would love to have that red dress, let's say. And then say, why is she wearing a red dress? She could have worn some other dress. Or some person who loves that red dress will say, wow, she looks so good in that red dress. There's a contrast between her skin and that what she's wearing. So this is called papancha. Now you proliferate through vitakka. You're doing a debate, how she looks, how she looks, how she looks, how she looks. So you're creating an image, or I am creating an image. As I see her, there's an image getting created. So now I'm bothered about the image. I don't want that image to break. Every time I have to update that image. So yam papancheti tato tam nidanam purisa. Nidana means origin. So for me to create Supriya, this is the cause, this is the condition for me to do papancha sanya sankha. That means to now create story around her, around this body. So now I create a story. She is so and so, she stays in this place, she's like that, she's on Dhamma, she had come to the retreat, blah blah blah, all that. There's so many things I will put it. Through what? Chakku vinyanesu rupesu. There's only started with Chakku vinyana and rupa, but what happened? It created an entire story. Like that, she speaks sota vinyanesu saddesu. Then if she touches me, kaya vinyanesu pottabbesu. Then if she smells or I smell her, then ghana vinyanesu gandhesu. Now she's gone, but mano vinyanesu dhammesu. Now this mano vinyana will keep on replaying it back and back and back and back and back. When I met Supriya in Janbhumi, the way she was standing, so the image will come. The way she was standing means what happens now? Mananja paticcha dhammecha upajjati mano vinyanam. Now this is now mind. There is no Supriya standing in Janbhumi. That was 2 weeks ago. But now can I not reflect it back? Yes. So as soon as a vehicle came, she is also seeing, I am also seeing, right? And the vehicle came. She was standing there. Okay, there are so many people standing, but she was also standing. And my eyes went for Supriya, let's say. Or her eyes went for me. Now, tinna sangati passo. So now I can create that image. Manancha paticcha dhammecha uppajjati mano vinyanam tinna sangati passo. Now I am talking to you, but still in the background, Supriya, how she had worn the dress is still there. Got the point? Now, phassa pache vedana, there is a vedana, there is a feeling. How? Of Jhan Bhumi, where we had gone. Yam vedeti tam sanjanati. Now I start perceiving there is Supriya standing there. Yam sanjanati tam vitakketi. Now I start pondering over or thinking over or whatever, vitakka, debating over. Then yam vitakketi tam papancheti. Now I'll create a proliferation of what she was wearing, how she was standing, what she was doing, etc. Okay, while I'm still talking, I can do that also. So that this is how mind can use up the energy. So I can go on, keep on creating this again and again and again and again and again. Mano vinyanesu dhammesu. What the point? Even though from the beginning there was no Supriya, you can still create Supriya. This sixth way of proliferation is what is the problem. You got the point? So, generally, when there is a male and a female connect, it already knows. Simple. Because we have been male and female, male and female, male and female, that's already recorded. So, there's no need for us to be taught this is a male and this is a female. We know. Okay, so we know. We know we will get attracted, we know will not get attracted. Only the six senses is the one which is making it happen. So through six senses, the consciousness will have a craving, because now if Supriya is looking good, this comes a craving. If I'm looking good, there's a craving. So you got the point. Now this has to be cut. So pancha is cut. Yes, Shreyas.
No, sir, by mistake.
What's that?
By miss.
By mistake. Okay, yeah, you had raised your hand. Yeah, you can start your questions.
No, I was just thinking this concept of female, right, is more of a conceptual thing. So I was wondering if it's more in the eye sense door, mind sense door, or both sense doors.
Only in the mind.
Only in the mind. But here it's talking about chakuncha, paticca. So here is Vedana.
As soon as the registration, like I said earlier also, the registration happens in both the places. You don't miss that. Supriya is, even though sight, it's registered also in the mind.
So phassa happen at both the mind and the sense door.
Yes.
And the feeling of female is only in the mind now.
Because when I see her, the her and him and all where it is, it's taught in the mind. Simple. So when we were a child, we were shown a picture saying that this is a boy, this is a girl. Now that is, are you touching it? No. You're showing the hairs are like this, means female. The hairs are like this, means male. The boy will wear dress like this and the girl will dress like this. So you are making the mind to distinguish between this object and this object and this object and this object and this object. So it remembers. So when a child is asked, who is this? That's a boy. Oh, good. Here is your chocolate. And if he says, that's a girl. No, child, you see. You will say, hey child, listen, this is the girl. No, this is not the girl. Why? The girl will look like this. The boy will look like this. Right? So you are able to separate it out. So then the mind knows this is a boy, this is a girl, this is a boy, this is a girl, this is a boy, this is a girl, this is a boy, this is a girl. Now this is a man, this is a woman, this is a man, this is a woman. So that is happening in the mind. So you're conditioning the mind to believe that this is a boy and this is a girl. Yes.
So this feeling and perception of female happens in the mind. But here's it talk about Chakku Vijnana. So does the Chakku Vijnana experience male and female at all? No.
Chakku Vijnana will have the knowledge of the item only. That's why I said when I see there's an object sitting there, and then the mind also registers and says that, oh, that is Supriya. Because her name is Supriya and she removes Supriya and now she calls something else. Then, oh, earlier you were known Supriya, right? Yeah, I was known Supriya, but now I'm no longer Supriya. Oh, I'm sorry. So what's your new name? Then the mind will register that. It will deregister Supriya and then register that name. Yes.
So can I say when you make animitta, it's all about the mind. It's about the nimitta is all about the mind. The
Yes.
sign I does not have a nimitta of such.
I has a nimitta, but it is superseded by the mind.
Okay.
Mano pubbangama dhamma mano setta manomaya. Don't forget that. It's the mind which makes up everything. Even though the consciousness has eyes and ears and nose and tongue and the body, but it's a mind which takes the decision. Manasikara is the mind. Please understand this. Yes, Bobby.
Actually, I was going to ask the same question was Arya was asking. You were saying that this perception and feeling is in the mind. So what is the perception and feeling in the eyes? So I think you are
That's the
yes,
object. See,
subject.
why? You go through Mulaka Sutta. Kim Mulaka avuso sabbe dhamma. Mulaka, the root, is interest, chanda. Where? Kim sambhava sabbe dhamma. Manasikara sambhava sabbe dhamma. It doesn't say chakku sambhava sabbe dhamma, sota sambhava sabbe dhamma, like that. No. Manasikara sambhava sabbe dhamma. Kim samudaya sabbe dhamma. Phassa samudaya sabbe dhamma. All dhammas start with the contact. Now, kim samosarana sabbe dhamma. Vedana samosarana sabbe dhamma. Kim pamukha sabbe dhamma. Samadhi pamukha sabbe dhamma. Right? Kim uttara sabbe dhamma. Kim uttara? Panya uttara sabbe dhamma. Bistama. Kim adipataya sabbe dhamma. Satadipataya sabbe dhamma. That means sati. So, if I were to experience Supriya, the root is the interest, and the interest is in the mind. It can't be in the eye, it can't be in the ear, it can't be in the nose, it can't be in the body, it can't be in wherever, in the five senses. No. Five senses are only giving input to the mind. They are not by themselves doing anything. So mind is the forerunner, which is why he says, Mano pubbangama dhamma, mano setta manomaya. He doesn't say chakku setta or chakku sabbam like that, right? Mano pubbangama. He doesn't say chakku pubbangama dhamma, chakku setta chattusaya. Does it come like that? No. It's mano. So in the chitta mano manasam, the mano is the one, the knower. It knows. Chitta is just the light, but mano knows it. Yes, Reyes.
So basically, in an arhat, when the Vijnana has moved back to Chitta, they still have all the Vedana and the Sankharas and everything, but it's just the normal, whatever the senses have. It's not the mind thing, right? So when they still have the
Till
sankhara,
Manasam is there, till Manasam it will be there. Otherwise, he is like a one fool sitting there and watching like this. No. He will still know he's Ariyu. He will still know this is Supriya. He will still know this is Bobby, but he doesn't have any interest. No chanda.
okay. So the chanda is completely removed.
Kama chanda, right? Take it. Kama chanda. I mean, that same chanda, interest. There's no interest in the kama.
In any of the senses.
So now, between me and four of you, and I see myself in this camera, there is an interest. When I see Bobby, there's an interest. When I see you, there's an interest. If I see Ariu, there's an interest. But when I see Supriya, there's a different kind of interest. So you got the point. The four of us are male. The fifth one is a female. So you can make out. Who can make out? The mind can make out. Can the eye make out it's a female? Can the ear make out it's a female? Doesn't care much. But the mind sense door knows it all. Mano Pubbangama Dhamma. So it knows the entire Dhamma. Mano Settha Manomaya.
So sorry, I is seeing the form, right? So I is seeing the form. Form can make out that she's a lady, right? Why? Because of the form, we know that she's a lady now. Otherwise, when she speaks, sorry.
Can you go back to your school days? You were given
Yes.
a book which said there's a picture. As soon as you see the picture, do you know it's a girl? No, you have to be taught it's a girl. So that registration is happening in the mind. So whenever it sees this picture, it will bring that girl also along with it, right?
Oh, okay. So the memory is stored in the mind.
Yes.
So it brings back that, and okay.
Yes,
Yeah.
it doesn't
So
matter.
if it is a very new thing, you wouldn't know it. That's what.
Absolutely. For eye, it's just an object. But for the mind, it's a treasure.
So it always coordinates with the mind.
That's correct, no?
Yeah.
Yes, Arya.
Yeah, I remember we were having this discussion with Sachin, I think, and either you or him were saying if you're very keen on discerning, you can find the Sukha Vedana in the eye itself. Not about the female, but some color is particularly soothing to the eye. There's a Vedana there as well.
Now I'll come to each one. I can only see the color and shapes. That's it. Doesn't care much about whether it's a female shape or a male shape, or just knows color and shape. The ear only knows the sound. It doesn't know it is a female sound or a male sound or a bird sound or this sound or that sound. It only can validate it's a sound. Okay. The touch, it just touch. That's it. Nothing else. There's nothing called female touch and a male touch. It's just a touch. Right. This distinguishing is the ability of the mind. It can distinguish. Okay. Like that. So if you go basic, the five senses gives a basic input. The mind sense will create everything for itself. Yes. The way, wait for a second, the way Supriya is seeing, I need to answer to her question. She's gone deep somewhere. हाँ सुप्रिया जी बताइए.
नहीं, मैं ये सोच रही थी अभी आपने जो कहा है कि अगर माइंड तक पहुंचना है तो 5 रास्तों से जाना पड़ेगा.
हाँ.
आप सही
करना पड़ेगा.
जी. तो मैं वही सोच रही थी कि फिर अगर हम किसी दृश्य को देखते हैं या फिर आवाज को सुनते हैं तो उसकी जो भी वेदना आती है, आप बोलते हैं कि पहले अगर किसी दृश्य को देख रहे हैं तो आंखों में उसमें कुछ तो भी वेदना होगी, सुख वेदना होगी या दुखद वेदना होगी.
होगी.
तो हाँ, तो मैं ये सोच रही थी कि फिर माइंड माइंड तक तो जाएगा, लेकिन उससे पहले आंख में भी आने वाला है, नाक में भी आने वाला है।
हाँ आएगा ना, पर वो
हाँ,
जो नाक आंख से जो आता है वो एक इंफॉर्मेशन होता है, मन में जो आता है वो दूसरा इंफॉर्मेशन होता
जी जी, वही वही वही।
है, वो दोनों डिफरेंट होता है.
जी
So her question is that, or her comment is that, whatever is seen in the eyes and the ears and etc. are also having a feeling, and my answer is yes. You get a basic feeling of it. It's not that there's no feeling, but that feeling versus the mental feeling are different things. So if you take everything at a scale, that everything has a feeling, all the six senses has a feeling, all the six senses has a perception. So now when I see the eye and I see Aryu and Bobby and Shreyas and Supriya, there's a perception of object in the eye, and I see, and there's a feeling of that, right? I'm feeling that this is Bobby, this is Shreyas, this is Aryu, this is Supriya. When I say I am, this I has already given the input to the mind, and the mind has already recognized that this is Bobby. Correct? And that is Supriya, and that is Aryu. It's happening simultaneously. So the objective here is to understand the five senses, kama guna, to cut the sixth one. It's not the other way around. You can't try to cut the sixth one and keep all the five. Like in the Mahadukka Khanda Sutta, what we learned about the kama guna. In each one of the senses are six kama gunas: itta, kanta, manapa, kamupa, samhita, piyarupa, rajaniya. Because in that vinyana it already has it, and you see there are no six of them, there are no six senses. It speaks about only five senses. So in each one you will have this. So the mind should see the danger of associating with the five senses. So when it sees the danger of the five senses, it will then withdraw. You got the point? It's not that when, like what Bobby asked, if you see Supriya, when you see Shreyas, when you see Aryu, there's nothing happening in the eye. It's happening. Like she also asked the same question. Does something happen in the eye? Yes, it does. Like when she was seeing, when I got down from the vehicle, okay, she saw me, I saw her. So there's a feeling happening in the eye, but more feeling happening in the mind and less feeling happening in the eye, because as soon as we left that place, the eye went away. Because every time you change your eyes like this, the feeling keeps on changing, the perception keeps on changing. But in the mind, you can hold on to the same feeling and perception, and hence that becomes upadana, becomes holding on to it. Yes.
Yeah, I was just thinking on this, the five senses, the feeling and perception they have. You gave an example of eye seeing the shape and color. So there are basic ones, like for example, I think for sound, if it's a very sharp, loud sound, then the ear will already have a dukkha vedana, right? Because it's sharp and loud. For the touch, if it's very, rough and then spiky, it already have a dukkha vedana, like that.
Yes.
Yeah, but the mind override. Let's say I hear a sharp, loud noise. I may say that the ear may have a dukkha vedana, but a second later I realize it's a birthday party for me. So the sukha vedana takes over because the mind perceives as nice.
Yes, 1 minute. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, no,
Yes,
I was
sir.
just saying like the loud and sharpness will be the ear vedana. You don't need the mind to know that. There's already a dukkha
Yes.
vedana in the ear. And the roughness and smooth, the touch have that. If it's too hot, it's a dukkha vedana like that, right?
Correct. So each one of these senses have consciousness and they know what the Vedana is. You don't have to teach. but the mind will make up for everything. It prepares everything. Even though each will see a part of it, mind will see the full of it or make up for the full of it. Yes.
And that's why you can have these what's the word, statistical people who are enjoy pain in a weird way, right? Because all these five senses are being tortured, but mind is enjoying like that.
Yes. So when you call yourself, or the person calls himself as a sadist, what it really means is that he can't discern the pain and pleasure. For him, pain transforms to pleasure because, one minute. Okay, 1 second. Hold on. There is one meeting. So can we take this up tomorrow?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Thank you.